So the next type of equation that we're going to discuss is equations with parentheses, and these also have some special steps. So what is the goal of these types of equations? Well, the goal is to simplify each side that has parentheses before we solve the rest of the equation. So how do we do that? How do we simplify the parentheses? Well, the parentheses signify distributing, which is meaning to multiply. We multiply the number in front of the parentheses with each term inside of the parentheses. Now, a couple of strange things could happen depending upon what kind of number is in front. If the number in front is a negative number, the sign of each term inside is going to be changed. So when you multiply, whatever the original signs were on the inside terms, they're going to change to the opposite. And then one more special scenario, which we kind of already looked at, is when there's just a negative sign in front of the parentheses, it means -1. Now, we didn't have any of those up here, but we did have them on our last page, or page before that, when we were simplifying expressions. Remember, we had this negative in front of the y plus 1, which means that when I multiplied it, the y term became negative, and the 1 became negative. Okay, so same idea when we're solving equations with parentheses. Okay, all right, so now let's try the two examples. Look at the first one. I see my equal sign right there. I do have parentheses on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and do that distributing on both sides first before I start moving things from side to side. So in this case, I'm distributing a 4, so I'm going to multiply 4 with x and 4 with -1. So that would give me 4x minus 4. Then on this side, I'm distributing a 2. So I'm doing 2 times x and 2 times 4, which is 2x plus 8. From here, it's just like one of the equations that we just did up above, where we have like variables on both sides. So I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to move the smallest one, 4x and 2. 2 is smaller than 4. So I'm going to subtract the 2x. 4x, and so on that side I would only have 8 left. On the left side, these terms have to be combined. So 4x minus 2x is 2x, and then I still have minus 4. So now it's a regular equation, and I do the opposite of the order of operations. So I'm going to cancel the -4 first by adding it, and I get 2x equals 12. And then I cancel the multiplication by dividing. And I get x equals 6 for my answer. Now, on the second one, there's still only one set of parentheses, but I want you to be very careful because it is not 7 that is distributing with those. It is -7. You got to be very careful of those signs. So I get 2b, -7 times 3 is -21. And -7 times b is -7b. Now, once again, I'm noticing that my left side has 2 like terms on it. So let's go ahead and simplify those before we try to move things from side to side. So 2b and -7b is -5b minus 21. And again, just remember that this b means 1b. So now that I have simplified the ones on the same side, now I've got to move the correct one to the other side. So which one is greater? Which one is the smallest? 1b or -5b? Well, anything negative is smaller than anything positive. So I know I'm going to have to add 5b to the other side. These are going to cancel, and that's going to bring down a -21. 1b plus 5b is 6b. So I have -21 equals 6b plus 3. So now I'm going to isolate the b term. So I'm going to subtract 3 first, which makes those sides cancel. And I'm left with -21 minus 3, which is -24. And then my final step is to get the b alone. So to cancel the multiplication, I divide. And I'm going to get -4 equals b. So those types of equations, you just got to remember your steps for making sure that you properly distribute. So the last type of equation we're going to talk about is equations